Ochudo. So we have finally begun to come to the very end of this Bible in 1 year journey. And I must say, it's been quite an eventful journey, even for me, who made up my mind that I was going to try this. And I have enjoyed every bit of it, even though I must admit that I found it quite challenging sometimes. Anyway, we are still in the vacation mode. We're still right in the middle of the Yuletide season. So as we round up this year, I'm happy to have found the time to catch up with my studies one more time. So for the days that I missed, I'm going to do a record, replay, and have it slotted in at the right phase, the right portion of the videos. Okay, but thank you all the people who have been joining me live. I wanted to do this live, and I was so worried about the matrix that this would attract that I did not make an effort to promote it heavily, except I think on my WhatsApp and then once or twice on my Facebook. I I wanted to make sure that I was not caught up with the figures. I wanted to make sure I was more caught up with even just being disciplined and diligently doing the studies. Okay, so on an average, got quite a few sign-ups, but into the new year, I'll probably put in a lot more effort in promoting what I've already done. In any case, welcome to the Bible in 1 year. If you're joining me for the first time, I decided to read the Bible through in 1 year because I found it very life transforming the first time I read it. And even now, I have seen entirely different things from that first time that I read it. I have found it really eye opening. I've also questioned some other additional things I didn't question the first time I read it. But I can assure you that if I read it again in 2026, I'll probably find many new things that I didn't see this year. In any case, it's been an eventful journey, and I will encourage anyone who just wants to know anything about God to go read it. Look, draw your own conclusions. If you don't want to believe in God, make sure it's because you have read it and you've decided you don't want to believe in God, and not make a decision over something you may not be fully aware of. You know, you take a stand on something you don't know enough about. So I just challenge you, if nothing else, just read it. Read it for the sake of reading it. I know how what started out as for the sake of reading it began to challenge my worldview, and then patterns began to emerge, and then I began to see this whole walk with God differently, and I see how important it is to do this on a personal level. I see someone there, and I want to say welcome joining me today. Say something in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Where did you spend your Christmas? Okay? All right, so today is day 361. And we have 4 days to go to the end of the year. Every single day we follow the structured reading from this Bible reading guide, where we look at an Old Testament, a New Testament, a Psalm, and a Proverb. I cannot tell you how happy I am to be reading the last chapters of the entire Bible. The last chapters. Anyway, so today we're looking at Zechariah chapters 10 and 11. We're looking at Revelations chapters 18. And we're looking at Proverbs chapters 30 verse 33. Hey, hi, I see you. I see you. Thank you for joining me. God bless you too, Sean. Sean, yes, God bless you. I also see you, Mons. I'm sorry, Rodriguez. Yes, Rodriguez, I see you too. Hi, I see you too. All right. So let me just quickly get to it so that I can stick to the time. I'm hoping to be out of here in less than 15 minutes. We've already done 4 minutes, okay? All right, so let's start with the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 33 says, as the beating of cream yields butter, and striking the nose causes bleeding, so stirring up anger causes quarrels. That's what the book of Proverbs says. So I guess you want to think about what can cause quarrels and distensions. All right, so Zechariah 10 says, ask God for rain, he'll send showers. Idols give worthless advice. They tell lies and they steal dreams. They take away dreams. So my people wandering have been doing so, have been attacked like lost sheep. So I think this is God speaking directly. My people wandering up and down have been attacked and wandering about like lost sheep. Attacked because they have no shepherd. And I am angry, and I'll punish their leaders. The Lord of heaven's armies cares for his flock. And so Judah, looking at Judah, he'll make Judah strong and glorious like war horses. Judah will become like a cornerstone. And there was a whole lot he said in between then and where he comes to where he'll be threatening them with trampling over their enemies. So he says, I'll save them. I'm their God, and they'll become like warriors. They'll be as happy as wine. As happy as wine, as happy as people who are drunk with wine. As high, like they have never been rejected by me before. So this is God saying, God can get angry. If you followed me throughout this entire year, just reading the Bible, you'd see God livid at some point and just threatening and rejecting. So, but he says here that I'll save them and I'll treat them and they'll become like warriors. They'll be as happy as they hate. I see you. Hate. I see you as well. They'll become as happy and they will even forget I once rejected them. Though I scattered them among the many nations, they'll remember me and their kids will return back to Israel from Egypt and Assyria. So mind you, this book was written way back many hundreds of years ago, before the modern times today. Okay, so he says, I'll resettle my people in Gilead and Lebanon, and passing through the Nile. Yes, passing through the Nile. I'll make my people strong and they'll go wherever they wish. So in chapters 11, he says, open your doors. I'm not even sure what I wrote here. Open your doors. Open your doors. For I care for the flock intended for slaughter. For Lebanon, I'll make Lebanon care for the flock intended for slaughter. They'll be happy to sell them, and God will have no pity on the people in the land. They'll fall into each other's hands, and because they hated God. So I think this is God saying, thank you for the hearts and the likes. I see you guys. So I care for the oppressed, and so I will not pity those who are falling to sword or falling to one another because they hate God. They hate God. I broke my favor. So now, the person who is narrating in Zechariah. So if you read this book, I don't know if you've read it. I'll leave the scriptures in the description box below. You'll see portions where it looks like it's God talking, and then if you read it and you understand in the English language, you see that it's another personality talking, most likely the original author of the book. So he says, I took my staff and I had two staff. I named one favor and I named one union. I killed three evil shepherds were killed and also became mad. I also became mad at Kosher because they hated God. So I broke my staff, the one known as favor, to show the revoking of the covenant I had with the people. So you guys have to forgive me, okay? It's right in the middle of the night and I'm reading this, and it's been a bit of a long day. Okay, so I feel like it's not flowing the way I want it to flow. But all through the time I have done this Bible in 1 year, I have tried to be as authentic as possible. I didn't want to be overly curated so that it doesn't lose its relatability. I want people to know that I'm questioning some of the things that I'm reading, I want people to know that I'm I'm not accepting just everything I read. I'm questioning it. I'm making a case for some. I'm turning it in my mind. I'm accepting some things and I'm rejecting some things. Okay. So when I'm recounting the story, sometimes I pause to think about what I just read. I pause to think about what I just read. So I hope you guys are not offended by watching me read it like I'm not too sure what I'm studying. Okay, so what I do is I read the Bible, then I write my thoughts down here from what I've read, and then I just recount that. The idea is just to share what I've read, even though once in a while I share my insights or my views or my pleasure or displeasure. All right, so let's get back to it. I broke the staff known as favor to show the revoking of covenant. I won't be their shepherd again. I told them to what to pay what I was worth, and they paid 30 pieces of silver. That was exactly the amount that was paid when Jesus. So okay, so let me tell you what I think here. Some of these things that we read like just poetry is actually prophecies about things that would happen in the future. Now, this is God saying, I revoked my covenant with them, I broke the staff known as favor, and I asked them to pay me what they thought I was worth, and they paid 30 pieces of silver. And that's like when Jesus was when the betrayal of Jesus was happening. The whole negotiation happened around 30 shekels of silver. So let me go back to what I'm studying here in Zechariah. It says the Lord said, throw it to the potter. Do you remember what we read in the Gospels? I've never seen this before. So the Lord said, throw it to the potter, and God said to me, go again, be worthless. Be a worthless shepherd, to illustrate to them how the shepherd will not care even if they are dying or injured. So I think what he's saying here is God had already spoken some things out there, and he's saying they have already charged me. They consider me just worth 30 pieces of silver. I'm going to give them bad shepherds who will not care if they are injured or dying. I would illustrate by sending you out there to die, and they won't care that you're dying, you know. And this will cause great sorrow. Great sorrow awaits those worthless shepherds who leave the flock, who leave them in harm's way, who they would be, their arms will be cut and their right eyes will be blinded. So that ends the Old Testament reading, Zechariah 10 and 11, chapters 10 and 11. I think here that Jesus was narrating how God was narrating how they were going to see him eventually. And of course it didn't happen the way it looks here. It happened in form of that whole negotiation with the Romans, but they showed God, and as in God saw it like hundreds of years before it happened, that they were going to cost him for 30 pieces of silver, and so he was going to leave them in the hands of worthless leaders who will not care. And when they were negotiating the death of Jesus, they were like, let the curse be upon us and our children. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. The Bible is so coded. It's filled with so many things that, I don't know, it's like time wrap. It's like a time wrap. In and out, up. Okay, so please, if you can hear me, let me know. If you can see me or you can hear me, please let me know. So that I had a slight glitch with my phone. I just want to be sure that I'm still live, because the live video has resumed. So please, if you're here and you can hear me, please, I'd really appreciate it if you let me know. But then let me hurry up, because I don't want that to repeat itself. So that I mean, we've read the book of Zechariah, and I was just trying to recount how a lot of the things in the Bible is like a time wrap. Some things are said now, and then they show up later, hundreds of years, slightly differently. Thank you, Golden Pro. I'm tired. It's actually an odd time of the day right now. It's 1 a.m. here in Nigeria, where I'm reporting from. So I guess I'm tired. You see, I look inside out. I actually feel some type of way. I'm going to go to bed. JK, I'm going to go to bed once I'm done. Yeah, but thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. All right, so let's just quickly go to Revelations and we'll be done for the day. So in our book of Revelations, we're reading chapters 18, verses 1 to 24. I saw another angel. Thank you. Thank you. I saw another angel with a great authority shouting, Babylon is fallen. She is a home for demons. Kings, merchants are rich because of their desires for her extravagant luxury. I heard another voice saying, leave her, do not partake in her sins, for God remembers her sins and she'll pay for them. Boasting as a queen on a throne, she boasts as a queen on a throne, and there's no reason to mourn as a helpless, saying there's no reason to mourn as a helpless widow. Plagues will overtake her. Kings will watch her and pity her. No one will be left to buy her goods, whether they are clothes, jewelry, fragrance, oil, wine, cattle, wagons, slaves, all that stuff will be gone. Left will be gone. People of God will rejoice that she has been judged. A boulder will be tossed from the sky. Like Babylon, it will never be heard of again. A boulder will be tossed from the sky, and like Babylon, and Babylon will never be heard of again. You businessmen, you were the greatest, but you were deceived by the nations along with your sorcerers. Your streets will flow with the blood of prophets and the holy people and God's holy people and people slaughtered all over the world. So Babylon is just basically a metaphor for, at this point I think it's a metaphor for just the world system of debauchery, evil, injustice, oppression, greed, avarice, and all of that stuff. And a woman was used to describe, she was like queen sitting on the throne in Babylon, and that she will be attacked she will be destroyed at the end of everything because she deceived the world. That's how it's been written here, that she deceived the world, and even the merchants who should have profited reasonably from this were also deceived by her, maybe the avarice that she sold to them, and so the streets will be littered with their blood because and all of that. I'm sure there's a whole lot more here, but for some weird reason my handwriting is not so good because I guess I was tired when I was reading this. In our streets blood flowed the blood of prophets and God's holy people, and people slaughtered all over the world. So Babylon is a metaphor for an evil system, and one should avoid it. So that's basically the Bible reading for today. Thank you for hanging in there when there was a break in transmission, taking us all the way to 20 minutes. I think we'd have done this in about 17 minutes or 15 minutes, but thank you for hanging in there. Golden Pro, thank you. Height, thank you. Rodrigo, Sean, and all the other people who were watching but didn't say anything. Thank you for joining me today. Please, for the next 3 days, join me. Okay, so I won't lie. Turn on the notification button so that you know when next I go live. because I'm at a staycation and we're going to be checking out of our location tomorrow. So I may not show up at the same time, but I'm still going to show up anyway. So please just subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification button so that you know when next I go live, and then you can join me. And believe in me, I'm just going to continue in January, okay? I'm just going to continue. So it's a great time to start from the beginning again, all right? So thank you for joining me today. I'll see you all tomorrow. God bless you and have a great evening. God bless.